Hello, everyone. I thought I would talk about a topic that's been going around the internet. I originally wasn't going to talk about this today, but the topic is reading political. Well, I think it really depends on how you define the word political. That's very important because depending on how you define it, you might answer the question differently. Well, the definition of political is government affairs. Things to do with the government, how society should run and operate. And in that sense, I don't think that reading or talking about books is inherently political. I mean, I suppose if you were to include cultural practices, which reading would definitely be one, you could say it's political. But for the most part, I don't think that reading is inherently political. Like for example, if you have you can have two people with very different political ideologies that can both read a poem about a sunset and be moved by it, even though they have very different political ideologies, because there's some writing that it transcends politics and touches the human condition. It moves you in a way that transcends political ideology, and I actually think the best writing does that. Now, of course, books can be political. A lot of times, books will deal with questions about society, how should society operate, which direction should we go as a society, and it can deal with moral questions that are connected to politics. So yes, books and reading can be political and often are. But they don't necessarily have to be, and they especially don't have to conform to one political ideology. But I especially don't like this rhetoric, though, that that somehow if someone votes differently from you or whatever, then therefore they must not care about books or reading. Well, that's simply not true, though, because you can profoundly disagree with someone for voting for a different person, even think they're dead wrong. But people vote for candidates for all sorts of reason, and very rarely do they agree with everything that candidate says or supports or anything like that. And so, to me, the main problem, though, with when it comes to the main threat to reading is not so much in books, it's not so much politics, though it is related to it. It is anti-intellectualism, and that can manifest in different ways. You have people who will say things well, if it's not going to make me any money, then I don't care about it. Or there's a lot of fancy words there. That's just pretentious nonsense. But then you also have people that's one political ideology. But then you also have people of different political ideologies who will go, well, why do I want to read things written by old white dead men? Or poetry is inherently bourgeois because it's written by educated people, and therefore it promotes class discrimination. And you have and to me, that's just another form of anti-intellectualism. It's just masked in moral superiority. So to me, anti-intellectualism can be a problem, and it can manifest within different political ideologies. But anti-intellectualism goes far beyond political ideology. It is inherently a part of the human condition that a lot of people, if they don't understand something, will lash out with indifference or moral superiority, and or ignorance and fear. And so, to me, that's the main problem. And so, yes, reading can be political and often is, but I do think there are some things that can transcend politics and the human condition. And to me, though, I think the most important thing is to all and when people discuss politics, I do think it can be a mistake when people discuss politics and reading online to think that everyone's going to have your political perspective. Of course, people are going to have different political perspectives. They're going to read things with a different political lens. And to me, the important thing while reading is to keep a nuanced perspective. No, and understand that no ideology has everything completely right. It may have some things right and may have other things entirely wrong. And so, no, but essentially, no, I don't think reading is inherently political, but even when it is, I think it's best to read with a nuanced perspective and to incorporate a lot of political ideologies into your worldview, and to not just think that everyone's going to think like you, or that one ideology has all the answers. Life is far more complex and nuanced than that.